Hello. Is this stream working? Okay. I think
Okay,
we
that's awesome.
are live right now.
Yeah. Are we live?
I think it's just sending the data over.
All right, I think we're live.
Whoa, hey, we are live.
Hey everyone,
Hello, everyone.
welcome to the Infinite Career Career Showcase live stream. I'm Charan Ramesh Kumar, your president.
And I'm Rohit Mamani-Pakai, a co-founder of Infinite Career. So yeah, it's nice to meet you all. How's it going? How's your 3-day weekend?
Chat is popping off right now. Thank you guys. All right. Okay. So today we have our first speaker, Dr. Lisa Mary Burns, and she brings with her over 20 years of practical experience in multiple industries and functions. She has been in public education for the last 15 years, all in a CTE/business capacity. Throughout her career, Dr. Burns has emphasized the importance of having a well-rounded resume, one that includes both higher education and practical experience. Her dissertation addresses the need for teachers to have practical experience in order to bring curriculum to life in the classroom. Many districts continue to downplay the role of CTE in business, housing, education, and fail to recognize that all subjects are embedded in the CTE curriculum and provide students with hands-on opportunities not normally found in traditional academic settings. Dr. Burns' primary capacity within the Fremont Unified School District is that of a business department chair and the Perkins V coordinator, and she was named DECA Business Person of the Year in 2017. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Burns. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking me to do this.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we have a couple of questions to ask you. Yeah. Rohit, would you like to start?
Yeah, sure. So I guess our first question is how would you describe being an educator, and what are some of the things that you do? Like in general, what does it mean to be like a professional CTE educator?
Well, to me, being a CTE educator means bringing the real world into the classroom and making sure that students have the ability to experience simulations and different types of activities and projects that would be applied in the real world in various industries and in various careers.
Interesting. So it's like you bring the industry to the students themselves directly.
That's my goal, yes.
Awesome. That sounds really great. So what are some of the specific ways that you do this?
Well, I teach marketing, web design, personal finance, and I've authored an entrepreneurship curriculum that's being taught by another teacher. In my past, I was in sales and marketing, I was in Marcom management, as well as mergers and acquisitions, and in finance. So, what I try to do is take examples of things that I went through, projects that I had done for my prior employers, and bring them into the classroom in a way that students can experience them.
Interesting. That sounds really great. Yeah, so I think we went over this, but could you explain like how did you start off like doing what you're doing right now?
How did I become a teacher? Well, I became a teacher because of what was happening after 9/11, when many high tech corporations were downsizing and moving manufacturing out of the country due to labor costs. So I was actually with a local chip manufacturer, and we merged with an OEM process manufacturer, and that was not a good marriage for the two companies. The company that I worked for held the patent to the product that they created. They're actually the original holder of the patent for the first flash drive. And when we merged with a contract manufacturer. And if you know contract manufacturing, they don't own rights to anything. They just manufacture in large quantities because they have the real estate to do so.
Right.
And so when that happened, I was in a position where I could see the future of the organization and was able to take advantage of a severance package, allowing me to go back to graduate school and complete my teaching credentials so I could become a teacher.
Oh, I see. Okay, wow. Well, that's quite a story. Okay. All right. So, chat, if you guys have any questions, then feel free to put it in the chat, and then we'll be asking your questions a little later.
I'm having
So,
some sound issues right now. I don't know what they are.
oh, sound difficulties. I'm not exactly sure what they are.
Sorry, everything's kind of fuzzy and echoey. Let me see.
I think it's a little fuzzy.
Mhm.
Um, okay. Yeah, I think it's okay for now.
Yeah, I think it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, better. Right. Okay. So I guess our second question would be like, what are some of the qualifications and like the education needed and experience that you would need to become a teacher?
Well, the minimum qualifications are a bachelor's degree. And theoretically, that bachelor's degree could be in anything. But in order to
Mhm.
teach a specific subject, you would need to take a test, a high level test within that
Oh,
subject matter for your credential to be granted as a single subject. Or you could have the degree within that subject itself and go straight into teacher credentialing school. So
oh, okay. Interesting. So how long does this usually take for someone who wants to
currently, it takes 2 years to go through the credential clearance process.
the credential clearance? Okay. And so do you think it's like a really challenging one, or what makes it difficult, or how would people like find it?
Well, it's not difficult. However, it is time consuming. You need to be good with time management. The first thing that an individual needs to do is to get a teaching job, because when you're going through the clearing process with the county or the state organization that you intend to use, you need to have a job because you're going to bring your classroom experiences into the program and write about them accordingly.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, we have a couple of audience questions. So Sammy asks, why did you become a teacher? Like, what motivated you to become a teacher in particular?
That's a good question. And I'm going to give you an honest answer, which, depending on the audience, it may or may not be off putting. But many of us have grown up or have heard the phrase overworked and underpaid. And I did my time in industry. And I used to be an early morning gym goer, that we called it the executive routine that we did. And one of the women that was at the gym where I was in the morning was a teacher. In fact, she was a kindergarten teacher. And when I told her what my company was going through, and teaching was something that always interested me, she sat down and did the numbers with me. We did the math together, and I realized that it was not such. And so
Mhm.
once I left industry by no choice of my own, I did choose to leave when I did, but it was going to happen anyway with the nature of what was happening with the company.
Mhm.
I went straight into a credentialing program, and I've been teaching since 2004, and I would never go back again. So
Mhm. Yeah.
Awesome.
Now user Hi World asks, of all the classes you teach, which would be your favorite and why?
uh, that's a really hard question. That's all of them. All of them.
All.
I can't decide because I'm very, very fortunate in what I do, in that in addition to the CTE courses I teach, I'm also the AVID director, and I have 2 AVID classes. So every time the bell rings, I'm teaching something different. I'm wearing a different hat. So my days don't get boring. I don't repeat myself. And before I know it, the final bell is ringing. So
Mhm.
it's really hard for me to pick. Marketing is completely project based. We are actually doing an industry Shark Tank product design with a local Silicon Valley company called Flex Factor right now.
No.
In web design, my classes, we do projects that I create, but then also I bring in industry reps that need help with their web design, and students help with that. In personal finance, we play the game of life from a financial perspective. In entrepreneurship, which another teacher is teaching right now, there is a lot of Shark Tank and marketing type activities and business startup activities that happen. It's just a lot of fun.
Oh,
Each of my classes does an industry certification. So if you're a marketing student, you are certified in public communications through Southwest Airlines. If you are a finance student, you are certified in finance from Texas Tech University. If you are a web student, you're certified in Microsoft Office Technologies from Express Career. And if you're in entrepreneurship, you're certified in career preparation from Express Career.
Oh, wow. So it seems like you got the entire deal, everything together.
Yeah, it makes it fun.
Our next question from Christine is, what is the most difficult part about being an educator?
Christine, what do you mean by difficult?
Hmm. Let's see
Let's see.
what she says.
I mean, I could tell you the commute, but I mean, that has nothing to do with being a teacher.
Yeah, I think a lot of the teachers here have trouble with the commute.
Yeah.
It's a long way.
As far curriculum planning is fun as long as you pay attention. That's my big thing, is being aware of what's happening in the world, watching the news, being up on pop culture, and being able to bring that into the classroom, because to me that makes learning relevant. I guess the most difficult part is at times juggling the different responsibilities, because teaching is more than just classroom instructions. Teachers have a lot more to do outside the classroom and other responsibilities as part of our contract. And sometimes it takes away from what we're doing. So,
Yeah, I think you answered Christine well, because she said, sorry, just like anything in general. So,
okay.
So Rayhan asks, what are some of the benefits of being a teacher in Fremont? How would you rate your overall teaching experience?
Well, Fremont is one of the highest paid districts in Northern California. I mean, if that's a motivating factor. But also at the same time, I have seen Fremont be very supportive of new ideas. Fremont as a district is very open to considering new classes and new curriculum and new structures. And that's refreshing, because there are a lot of districts. I mean, where I live is a different type of district. And I did get my first teaching jobs out here. But you're kind of limited and you're boxed in and you're told what to do, rather than being able to suggest and be creative on your own. And Fremont welcomes individual creativity.
And Sammy, another question from Sammy. He asks, what did you do for your PhD?
For my PhD, it is in organizational leadership. So I went through a program that wasn't necessarily education driven. It pretty much puts me able to, well, I researched leadership in both the private sector and the public sector, profit and not for profit.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh, and just last audience question. Sanjeev asks, what common patterns did you see in students who did well in class after being a teacher since 2004? What do you think is the best way to learn?
I was born in the 60s. So when I was in high school, which was the early to mid 80s, I was born in the late 60s. Everything was sit down and take notes. Everything was memorize and, teach to the test. And although I learned that way, because that's just how it was done, I welcome and I believe that students, whether you're my students or anybody else's students, learn more from hands-on experience, from real-world situations. I'm a huge proponent of project-based learning. So something more than just solving problems or answering true or false or multiple choice questions, but creating projects and making those real-world connections. I'll give you an example really quick. I sat in a PD years ago, and this was right at the beginning, PD meaning professional development. So I was in a meeting, and Common Core was being introduced. The state of California was about to embrace Common Core standards. And if you know anything about Common Core standards, the anchor standards are English and math. And basically, it's a teacher's job to incorporate basic grammatic and writing skills and basic mathematics skills into any subject, whether it be history, science, math, English, CTE, whatever subject about it may be. And I was sitting in a PD and we were talking about how to incorporate math. And of course, math is all over business. Math is in art. I know a number of art teachers that understand that mathematics is the basis of art with spatial relations, on a project. But I was in a PD with a woodshop teacher who stood up and said, but I don't teach math. And I found it incredibly interesting because the woodshop teacher teaches geometry all day, every day. But it was seamless. Even the teacher, and I thought it was kind of cool at first because the teacher was not even aware, but yet students were learning geometry and geometric, equations and geometric applications within woodshop without it being called geometry. So that, I think, is the basis of all education.
Wow, very well said.
Oh, that was an awesome response.
Okay, so I think as a concluding question, oh yeah, I think the audio is breaking up a little bit.
Sorry, I'm getting that feedback on my phone again. So.
Oh, okay, I think we'll wait for a second. Is it better now?
Now it is.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, now it's a little bit better. Okay. So I guess as a final concluding question, so if people want to know a little bit more about, oh, I think there's still some breakage.
I'm just trying to see if I can get it to stop echoing. I don't know what the problem is. I'm sorry. Okay. It's totally on my end, I'm sure.
That's okay, that's fine. Should have done a little bit more time, but that's fine. Okay, so I guess our last question would just be like if anyone's like more interested in becoming a teacher, then how would they start? Where would they go?
I didn't hear the question.
Okay. It's. Oh, are you getting feedback?
I'm getting that echo sound again. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
I'll mute.
Okay. Well, let's see. Maybe I can highlight the question and you should be able to see it. Oh, can you hear me better now? Okay. Well, I'll put the question up. Hopefully we can get this. Otherwise, I think we can move on to our next speaker. Let's see. Oh. There we go. Okay. So that's our next question. Dr. Burns, could you see the question?
I can't hear you. And now I don't see you. I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll move on to our next speaker. Okay, well, yeah, I think there's some issues. Sorry about that, chat, and everyone who joined. But I think this is it for the questions. Next time, I guess on the next career show, we'll have we'll pull up Dr. Burns. Yeah, and as Charn said in the chat, if you have any questions for Dr. Burns, then please feel free to email us at the following email, and then we can get back to you. Okay. So with that, if you can hear me, thank you, Dr. Burns, for stepping up with us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think that's it.
Are you hearing the beeping again or no?
Kind of.
Okay.
Oh, wait, what if? Oh, I see you in the computer.
I wanted to see if it.
Oh, hello? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, the sound is
again. Okay. Well, basically, I think we're going to move on from
Mhm.
now. So thank you for just stepping up with us
Yeah,
and
thank you so much.
joining us. So
Bye, Dr. Burns. Thank you so much for speaking with us today.
yeah, thank you.
Okay. So before we get on to our next speaker, Rose, you want to do the giveaway announcement?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this.
So let me go ahead and
What lots
do
of you
that.
guys have been waiting for. Okay, scan the code, guys. $50, Amazon gift card. Go get your Valorant skins. Go on
Okay.
with this.
Yeah, so we're basically hosting a giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're hosting a giveaway. If you guys would like to join,
Mhm.
please go ahead and scan it. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. So our next audience, presenter would be MIDIDIDDI, who is a civil engineer. So stay tuned. We'll be back in another 2 minutes.
It's a Rickroll? Wait. No,
No, it's not a Rickroll,
oh, he's
guys.
just trolling. He's just trolling, bro.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Mhm.
All right. So we're back. Thank you for waiting for us. And let's turn off the music. And okay. And now please welcome our next presenter,
So,
MIDIDIDDI.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear
We can
you.
hear you.
Thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Pleasure's mine.
Right. So I guess in the first off, we have, I guess, general questions to ask you. So our first question would be like, what is your job? Like, what do you do?
So I'm actually a civil engineer. I work at City of Dublin's Public Works Department. I'm an associate traffic engineer there.
I see. Okay. So like, as a part of the job, what do you do exactly? What are some of the duties that you have?
So at City of Dublin, We are responsible as a traffic engineer for maintaining the traffic operations, traffic signals, pedestrian and bicycle safety projects, their master plans. So anything related to traffic and transportation, we are the engineers who take care of it.
Oh, I see. So you guys like plan out the roads and the traffic and where things go.
Plan the roads, traffic signal designs, roadway striping, roadway building,
Right.
and any traffic studies related to any new developments, anything related to traffic.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. So, so what are like some of the difficulties, the skills that you would need to be a civil engineer?
Um, to start with basics, you need to have strong math background.
Mhm.
Background in physics is good. For
Right.
myself, I've done my bachelor's in civil engineering. So for civil, it's always math. Math is the very background.
Okay. I see. Okay. All right. So what are some, okay, I guess then like what are some of the skills that people don't usually see like or know about when they're talking about like a civil engineer?
Um, what do you mean? Like, what kind of skills are you talking about? Like,
Like I'd say probably like speaking or presenting with or trying to outreach for different companies, you know.
yeah. So in addition to just your engineering knowledge and your math,
Mhm.
you should be able to read or write reports, present reports to the council,
Mhm.
talk freely. You need to know a lot about budgeting, funding, uh, because that's an integral part of our projects. We need to keep our projects on budget, and we should we should be able to find funding opportunities, go after grant opportunities.
Right. So like finance is kind of a big deal.
Finances, yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jordan.
So we have a question from Owen,
Uh-huh.
and his question is, how can you find civil engineer experience at a high school age or a generally low age that's not really looked favorably upon current employers, so like high school age, college undergrads. So how can they find experience?
So many organizations or agencies, like for example, I work at City of Dublin, and in the same way, you have organizations like Metropolitan Planning Organizations (MTC), which are at 9 county Bay Area level, and Alameda County Transportation Commission at the Alameda County level, that offer internships to high school students. You guys can go after those high school those internships, and get an experience of what we do as civil engineers or engineers at various local agencies. You can reach out to city governments. Every city has a city government, and every city government has a traffic engineer and has a public works department, which has a lot of other engineering professions working for them. So there uh, there are a lot of opportunities for high school students, and they are always looking for some help there.
All right. So there you have it, guys. If you guys are interested, then go check out all the places that she just talked about. So
We'll
Charm,
send a list of the places through an email after.
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I have a few links that I can send it to you guys.
Oh,
Mhm.
awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we'll send that out in the email, and if you guys aren't part of it, then I'm pretty sure there's a form that's sent out. So go ahead and fill out that form. We'll be contacting everyone again through that if you guys would want more information,
If you
or
guys
if
missed
you want,
yeah,
yeah,
sorry. If you missed the giveaway, I'll make sure to present the QR code at the end of the live stream. So just check in with us at the end.
yeah. So also, if you guys want, if you can't find the form, you can just and email your questions at the email that Charn had posted above, or Charn, if you would like to post it again, you can post it again. The email address.
Speaking
Right.
of that, we have another audience question from Arsh. Is drawing and sketching plans an important part of civil engineering?
Yes, knowing CAD is very important. Computer aided design, drawing, sketching. Yes, it is the very basics and fundamental of a civil engineering. You should be able to draw the plans, interpret the plans, measurements, all those that's an important part of
Uh,
civil engineering.
this is a personal question from me. So you talked about drawing and sketching. Is that when you're learning about civil engineering through college, like let's say you're working towards a bachelor's degree,
Hmm.
do you need to have some sort of art degree as a minor or a major to be in that?
Uh, I don't think so. I've done my bachelor's in India, so I'm not sure how the bachelor's work here, but I did my master's here in San Jose State. I don't really think we need an arts class,
Mhm,
uh, but anything, but I would say fundamentals in drawing is always good.
Right.
mhm,
Awesome. So then how would people like besides getting reaching out to these governments and different areas, how would students like find experience or how would they set up for their future career if they want to go to this path?
So there is another organization called Institute of Transportation Engineers. They have a student chapter. You guys can join their student chapter, and there are other ways to know what is happening within your local government or within your state. There's a lot of projects that happen, so read about them. uh, See the city's websites or see the Caltrans website. So Caltrans is another agency at state level which is also responsible for maintaining the roadways within the city, within the state of California. And then you have Department of Transportation, which is the federal level.
mhm,
You have all these agencies. Go through their websites. They have very interesting information. They post. They talk about a lot of interesting projects that the federal government or the state government or city governments do, and you will get a lot of information in those websites.
Okay. All right. So I guess the next question would be like what are some of the challenges of like doing your job?
In terms of challenges, I would say there are many interesting projects. You should be able to balance your timing
Mhm,
and make sure you meet very tight deadlines sometimes.
mhm.
And then there are always awesome ideas, but less fundings available. So that's another challenging part of our profession, is to go after grant opportunities, which are very competitive.
Oh, I see.
There's a
Okay.
lot of work involved in that. So that's the
Oh,
challenging part for
I
me.
can tell. We
mhm.
have time. We already have some troubles trying to find funding ourselves.
Mhm. So Sanjeev asks a really good question. Do you have some general advice for people who want to pursue engineering as a degree? What colleges should I be aiming for? And what courses should I be specifically taking in high school?
I would say go for all the math classes, either AP calculus or calculus in general, stats, physics. And I believe even chemistry plays a good role. So when we do our pavement management program, there's a lot of chemistry involved when you look at your pavements. So all those, anything and anything like drawing or CAD, computer designs, all that has a very good background for your engineering.
And what
Mhm.
are the colleges that students should be aiming for that are specifically really nice for engineering?
That's a good question. Unfortunately, I haven't done my bachelor's here, but I heard a lot of UCs, have a very good engineering background. Any 4 years college or a
Mhm.
university that has a good engineering background works for you guys. And
Right.
I personally did my master's in San Jose State, and I've seen interns coming from San Jose State working for City of Dublin. They do an awesome job. And I've seen interns coming from UC Berkeley, UCLA, and I believe other universities in UC Santa Clara or Santa Cruz. There
Mhm.
are a lot of UCs in the within the California that that have civil engineering programs.
Huh, I see. Interesting. All right. So I guess okay. So then our next question would be, what are part of like the fun things or the most interesting parts about your job? Like what you
Fun
like?
things is, it's very rewarding to see your projects go live when people use them. Like, say, for example, we are doing a bicycle and pedestrian bridge. So we are
Mhm.
designing the bridge, and when you see the bridge constructed out there and when you see people using it, it feels really good. We do a lot of bicycle safety projects and pedestrian safety projects, like installing of a bicycle lane on a roadway,
Mhm.
installing a crosswalk, or doing pedestrian improvements at an intersection, installing a traffic signal. You take it for granted, but when you're designing it, there's a lot of things that you have to make sure that you're thinking about while designing. And when you go through these, it just gives you a sense of satisfaction that you're making sure safety
Helping
is
the
the first and
community.
foremost of your design, right?
Mhm.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. So how would this job like vary from city to city, or does it stay relatively the same?
It's pretty much the same, but sometimes it varies. Different cities have different kinds of projects, and sometimes, like our jobs involve also helping private development. So if a certain city has a lot of development going on, you
Mhm.
have a lot of traffic studies and environmental studies that we have to do before these new developments go in. So it's different kinds of work related to what kind of developments are happening within the cities.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so we have two audience questions. So
Mhm.
from Arsh, uh, he asked, what are other types of civil engineering that people can go into other than traffic?
Sure. So within civil engineering, I've done my master's in traffic and transportation planning. But other than that, you have structural engineering, which deals with buildings, bridges, bridge structures, basically anything structural. Then you have geotechnical engineering, which deals with soils. So any building needs a foundation, any road needs a foundation, and for that you need to study soils to understand what kind of things that you have to do before building something there. And then you have water resources. So think about sewer lines, water lines, all those fall under a branch of civil engineering, anything related to water. And then you have environmental engineering, wastewater resources. So there are many majors, and once you go deeper into it, there's further specializations.
Goodness. That's
No,
a
that's
lot.
a lot. Yeah. All right. Our last audience question is that for those who are interested in math, but they don't want to really go into a field. I'm not too clear on the question. Uh, wait,
I think if they just want like
uh,
maybe like a touch up or something, or just like some sort of small experience.
like what other career fields are there? That's based on math.
So, I mean, if when you go into your engineering or your bachelor's, you sometimes math appears in every subject you do. Like there's physics, but you still do math there. So I'm not sure how if I'm answering the question right, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, math becomes a very fundamental of any engineering.
Yeah.
So, our last audience question is, what types of engineering degrees would you recommend pursuing based on the current technologies that are happening in our time?
Well, civil engineering is very happening degree. I would definitely do that.
Mhm,
I am hearing a lot about IT and robotics. In
mhm,
fact, we have done a autonomous vehicle project within our city of Dublin. So where we have tested a
mhm,
bus, I would say, which has no steering wheel. We have tested on a public street. And that's the
Hmm.
happening future. That's where we are going, trying to get all these new technologies out there, driverless vehicles, autonomous vehicles. That's eliminating human error, right?
Right. Yeah.
Electrical engineering is another interesting major or engineering. We have to do a lot. We have to work a lot with our electrical engineers, right? Anything related to traffic signals or street lights has something related to electrical engineering designs too. So those are a few that I can think of at this time. You also know about software engineers. There are a lot of them out there. Silicon Valley is famous for software engineers. Um, yeah, but those are a few things that I can think of at this time.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like your career goes like into a lot of different fields like AI and, as you said, electrical engineering. So I think that's pretty much all the questions that we have. I mean, the time that we have for questions. So any closing words? How did you like the stream?
It's good. If you guys need any further information, always email me. I can give you my email address. I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah.
And I can
Uh-huh.
give you a few locations where you can look for internships.
All right.
And civil engineering or any engineering in that for that fact is very rewarding experience just based on my experience.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Um,
for speaking with us today.
yeah.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Right.
All right.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
All right then. See you later.
Right. That was awesome. That was an
Yeah.
awesome conversation.
Absolute conversation.
So we've got a lot of requests for the QR code. So should we just put it up now?
Sure. Yeah. We'll go ahead and put it up.
Uh,
Um.
for 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. And then in the meanwhile, we'll just wait for our last speaker of the day.
Mhm.
Thank you guys for staying with us through all the, errors and
Yeah.
issues that we've been having. As you can see, this is kind of our first, I guess, like our first reworked one.
Mhm.
Well,
Thank you to all the chat moderators so far.
yes,
That's
all the chat moderators. Thank
And
you.
thank you to the audience for participating. You guys are awesome. And we want to bring more information to you guys.
Yeah. Tron, could you put the email again in the chat? So if anyone wants any information, then they
We
could.
can connect you to the speakers as well.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Mhm.
Should I put the music again?
No, please.
Okay. OBS to stream. Yeah, well, this is like I think this one.
This one's still pretty good.
Yeah, this one's okay for now.
You guys can hear us, right? Pretty well.
Yeah.
All right.
This is the delay. Okay, well, I guess we'll wait a little bit more, and then our last speaker is here. Eric
Also,
Lee.
I saw a bunch of people spamming responses on the giveaway form. Now I can for one response only. So
Yeah. Sharon, you're gonna have to do something about that one.
Responses will be tallied up, and yeah, we'll announce the winners at the end of the live stream. So tune in.
Yeah. So the last person, our last guest here that we have is DERICK Lee, who is a business entrepreneur, founder, and CEO of PilotCity. So with that, let's get started.
PilotCity is one of our coolest partners.
I agree.
Wow. Thanks for sending me up here for a nice alley-oop.
Yes, anything for you.
I've been enjoying the show. I like the design, and I don't know who did the design, but I really enjoy it.
Rohit and one of our marketing people, Olivia.
Shout out to Lalithia.
All right.
Okay.
I see you.
All right.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us.
Here. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so I guess let's get started then. So, how would you describe being a business entrepreneur, and like, why did you choose to become?
Yeah, it's a great question. I was actually in an internship during college, and I was studying architecture at Cal Poly, and I was in an internship basically after my second year. And I just realized that there was so much stuff going on in my brain,
Mhm.
but I just felt very suffocated because I couldn't execute on those things going in my brain.
Huh. Yeah.
So I realized that I didn't want to live that way because I was going into the bathroom a lot, like while I was in the internship, and just like wanting to like just not even have to go to the restroom. I just went in there because I didn't want to be working, right? It was
Okay.
that suffocating.
Mm.
And so I realized that I needed to kind of do my own thing because there was way more that I wanted to do besides just working for clients in architecture that had their own ideas and wanted us to work and be a CAD monkey for architecture. So I realized that I wanted to quit my 9 to 5, and I realized that quitting my 9 to 5 um, and doing your own thing is actually more like quitting your 9 to 5 to work 24/7. But
Oh.
what's interesting is that when we work 24/7 as a business owner, there's so much more you can get from it, such as energy and motivation and determination. So that's really what happened and why I decided to go this route.
Wow. You're basically saying like if anyone wants to would you recommend like switching over if they don't like feel like it, or they just don't like understand why they're doing what they're doing?
I think there's a few things I've learned about this. I don't necessarily think that everyone should be business owners or entrepreneurs because it does require a lot of your time to be successful. It's like having a baby, you have to take care of the baby, and the
Geez.
baby is responsible for doing different things, like there's
Mhm.
all these customers you're responsible for, team members you're responsible for. So it's a commitment. It's a large commitment. So I don't necessarily recommend ownership of businesses for everyone. But if someone does have tremendous amounts of motivation and determination and interest in a particular area or subject and actually has solutions for a key problem that they are very committed to solving,
Mhm.
that's worth discovering as an opportunity. Now, there's something called ikigai that I've been kind of sharing with people. If you're listening, look it up. Ikigai, ikigai, and it's a Japanese terminology of, I think it's purpose of sorts, but it
Mhm.
has 4 Venn diagrams, and the 4 Venn diagrams are uh, what do you love doing, and
Mhm.
then what are you good at,
Mhm.
what does the world need, and what can you get paid for. So I really think that's a pretty good model, is to
Mhm.
discover things that you're good at, discover things that the world needs, discover what you love, and find out what you get paid for at the same time. So I would follow that path.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
great advice.
So, as a business entrepreneur, you started PilotCity. Could you tell us more about why you founded PilotCity? What does it stand for, and why you're super passionate about what it stands for?
Yeah, and I'd like to, if you don't mind, I'd like to
Mhm.
test out share screening just to kind of give some context, if you don't mind. This
Yeah.
might be good backstory, and then I kind of could go into it. I'll try to go as fast as I can so we're not wasting a bunch of
Yeah, no,
time.
go ahead. That's
Yeah, go
okay.
ahead.
That's fine.
Okay, so let me go ahead and do
Um,
this and do this and do that. And now you should see my screen, correct?
is it coming? Ah, there we go.
There you
Yes.
go.
Cool. So these are essentially the pathways that I went in and the skills that I learned and the businesses that I started and the different industries and verticals all before Pod City. Number one, I was a designer. I started photoshopping when I got my first bootleg copy of Photoshop in 7th grade, and
Oh.
studied architecture. So top left, design has been really the key of my work. And then I started getting really interested in sustainability and biomimicry and architecture that would be sustainable, and worked as intern for an architect named Eugene Sway. So I did that. I started also a clothing brand called Myth when I was like 21, and I got into streetwear design. And then on the bottom left, I realized that I wanted to do my own thing. And so I went into my 5th year of architecture, getting to a thesis project where we got a shipping container donated to us and we converted it into a community kitchen for food deserts. I really love the idea of doing your own thing, especially with the streetwear design. And then we got a bus donated to us after I graduated from college. And we converted into a mobile fabrication laboratory with 3D printers in it and laser cutters and stuff. Then I got into energy and solar panel development in my own hometown. And then I hosted events. And even, once I learned through that, essentially it sparked working with kids and doing programs. And then now I'm in the space of smart cities. So I wanted to give that quick kind of background.
Yeah.
And so I've been able to kind of experiment with doing my own thing. And then now PilotCity is kind of the thing that I'm doing, right? And
Right.
so the essence of it, I came back home from college and discovered my hometown was transforming itself into a city of innovation. And I met the right people at the right time at the right place because I forgot my glasses one day. And I met my hometown's leadership of the city government, and they installed a fiber optic broadband loop in San Leandro, and they hired a chief innovation officer, and they were doing this massive undertaking of transforming the city to become innovative. And I just happened to be there at the right time. So I was like 110% in building the city to become innovative. But what we were talking a lot about was attraction of startups and attraction of talent into our city to become innovative. But we weren't really talking about the people from there to be the ones that help build the future of the city. And so I said, okay, well, we need to get people from the city to make it innovative. And I realized that in San Leandro, we don't have a university, we don't have a college, we don't have a community college. Our highest level of talent are YouTube, high school kids, in our city. So I go back into my high school and start prototyping career pathway programs to get you all into your foot's in the door of work and industry and entrepreneurship and making things happen. And that's how it sparked. We started mobilizing massive sums of young people to go into career paths where they can make their futures happen and make ideas happen for key problems.
Wow, that's a great story. So I guess this question is coming from me personally because I see, at least for me, I don't really find like problems, or I don't come across them really often. So how do you to find a solution? So what would you say to that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Like, how do I come across problems, right? Well, number one, problems are everywhere, right?
Right.
Like, I don't know, like last year I had a big problem. I pulled 20 all-nighters in 2 months. That wasn't a good problem. And I needed to solve that problem. And
Yeah.
so I had to recover for 6 months. That was a solution, right? But you can also look at problems that you have on a daily basis. You can essentially just kind of go about your life and just have a keener eye, on things that you find that are not working the way that you see it, and start looking at your own problems, basically. And you can look at problems of your own friends and problems of your own community around you, and just people as you observe. And not all problems are of interest to you, so you filter based on things you care about more once you collect all those problems. But the key is you have to expose yourself to enough problems to know what key problems you're interested in solving. So that's what's key about saying yes to things, and eventually saying no to some things, but saying yes to more opportunities, because then you get exposed to more options of what could be key problems you can solve. So I'd recommend navigating your life and having an abundance view of things that you could have interest in solving.
Well, I guess I'll keep that in mind.
So we have a couple of audience questions. So from Ramen Tuber, what is the city that you talk about? Is it some physical city, or is it a figurative term for something else? Like in your PilotCity mission statement. Essentially, what is the point of PilotCity, and what does it exactly do for the city?
Yeah, it's a great question. So San Leandro is my hometown, just down the street from Fremont. I went to San Leandro High School. And PilotCity's Pilot City is San Leandro. If you don't know what pilot means, we don't mean goggles in a jet, flying
Mhm.
around, right? Even though
AVP.
that's what people kind of see us as. We mean piloting new solutions, piloting innovations, putting out ideas that are just prototypes and seeing how it works. That's what piloting means. And so Pilot City was an idea that I just had as a name as we were doing this work in my hometown.
Mhm.
And I realized that in order to become innovative, we need to pilot new ideas all the time.
Mhm. And our second question is from Sanjeev. How can you balance the freedom of being an entrepreneur and the security of having a 9 to 5 job? Is there any such occupation that can satisfy this? And how do you plan to stay creative in general?
It's a good question because, again, I don't think that business ownership and entrepreneurship is for everyone because not everyone is exposed to key problems that evoke 110% of them, right? But if you do evoke something that's 110%, I do recommend taking a look at that idea because it will satisfy you in your goals. But there's also things that you can do like becoming an intrapreneur, which is much more relevant nowadays, which is basically an innovator or a creator or someone who's outward thinking and innovative in thinking that works within an organization. So for example, for Pod City, we have core team members, right? And I want my core team members to be entrepreneurial, not to be the owners of Pod City only, right?
Mhm.
But to actually have part ownership, you know, but also to be interested in what they're doing inside Pod City and make it expansive, make it grow. So you can be an innovator, an entrepreneurial person inside an organization as well, and actually make it grow and still have a substantial, goal, achieved in your life. And so that's one way of doing it. And I think as you're thinking about what you want to do, what you want to be, you know, the question like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like that
Mhm.
question.
Yeah.
Imagine how anxietal that question is. It's like, I don't know what I want to do. Like like no one really honestly knows what they ultimately want to do. Everything grows and changes. But
Right.
what's a great question to ask yourself is what problems do you want to solve in your life?
Mhm.
They'll give you tremendous value to yourself and to
Mhm.
others. And I would recommend thinking about, yes, yourself and what you need and what you want to be and how you want to grow a family or how you want to pursue life, but
Mhm.
also think about others and what they need too, and have that nice balance as well.
Mhm.
Right. Wow, that's very well said. Right. So, Charn, if we don't have any other questions, I'd like to ask a question myself.
Yeah, go ahead, Rohit.
Yeah. So, besides like the long working hours, what would you say are like some of the challenges that come with being a business entrepreneur?
The challenges are the challenges that come with the problems that you're solving. So as we were doing Pilot City,
Mhm.
we came across the challenge of how do we build a center for innovation for with the center for innovation in a community with the people from there. Well, we don't have a university. Okay, well maybe we can work with our high schoolers. So we
Uh,
started with that parameter, right?
huh.
So
Right.
perhaps setting parameters so that it gets more and more narrow so that you're focused on a particular problem and getting deeper in the detail and then understanding and then talking to those people who have those key issues and then learning from what they need and what they want, I think is key so that you're then factoring in their perspectives to design a solution for that particular purpose. Another problem that we have was high school kids aren't perceived as talent to employers.
Mhm.
City of Dublin has tons of great,
Yeah.
vision. City governments in general have great vision actually for their own young people, but
Yeah.
most employers don't see high school kids as talent. So we said, okay, well let's have them prove themselves first before
Mhm.
they go into an internship. So we said, okay, well, how about we scope out a project of value to the employer, give it to classrooms and students, let them solve it, and then that project becomes crowdsourced solutions for the employer. And the employer can look at it and say, "Ooh, I like this kid, like this kid, like this kid. let's take them, and then they can go into the internship. So we had to kind of look at that parameter and design for it as well. So I would recommend perhaps don't get overwhelmed by the problems and the issues and challenges. Look at it strategically and tactically so that you can actually decipher a solution based on parameters and get more focused on the solution.
Huh. Okay, so it's like coming up with the solution itself and then trying to execute that is like a big problem. Can be a big problem.
Yeah, can I share a word
sure.
of it? So I used to go to this coffee shop called Cafe 4, and there's this guy named Bill Range that I always sat next to. He used to be a PG&E executive, and he was helping out at this cafe shop. But he talks about strategy and tactics. So what's the difference between strategy, right, and tactics, right? Just think of a rainforest. And then imagine yourself above the rainforest in a helicopter looking at the entire rainforest. You get to see the mountain all the way over there, the river over here, a bunch of trees underneath of you, the sky. You get to see the whole view, right, of where you need to go.
Right.
And so strategy is finding out where you want to go and how you get there from a high level. Tactics is going into the actual forest where there's trees and canopies and snakes and logs and rain and dirt and mud, right? And insects and animals, right? That could kill you or not kill you, right? Tactics is discovering the tools and the things you need to do to get from A to B, but you still need to get high level. You still need to get at a high level to know where you're going to. So think about the work that you're doing, whether it's schoolwork, whether it's work, whether it's family life, whatever. See things from a high level and know where you're going. But then when you're inside of it, be very tactical with what you use to achieve and get to the goal that you need to get to.
Interesting. Okay.
So we have a audience question, a bit off topic of an audience question. But Sanjeev is asking, are you Poop Monster Flex from the Discord server?
I can't say. No comment.
No comment. Okay, no comment. Sorry, man. No comment.
No comment.
PMF.
Oh, but the rainforest.
Find me on Discord.
Great. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, Charlie, what were you saying?
Yeah, the rainforest analogy was really cool, and I really enjoyed the way you phrased that to compare innovation to a rainforest, which is pretty cool.
Like tactics and strategy, I feel like I really understand it now.
That's exactly what it is.
Just tactics and strategy. All right. So I guess okay. So I think here's another question that we have. So if we as high schoolers we want to we don't really necessarily want to become like business entrepreneurs, but we just want to know how it's like, or just get the feel of it to see if we actually want to like do it, right? So how would we go on doing that?
It's really easy, actually. So if you want to get a taste of entrepreneurship, if you want to get a taste of business ownership, if you want to get a taste of doing your own thing, find out what you're good at right now, right? Like, what am I good at? I'm good at drawing. I'm good at laser cutting. I'm good at designing. I'm good at, mowing people's lawns. I'm good at, running. I'm good at whatever, right? Just list out everything that you're good at, right? And then find out what you would want to do, right? Like with those skills. And then just start a small business where you create some kind of product or value from that. And then just go to people that you think might want it and say, hey, would you want to buy this for $1? Or like $2 or $5 or $10 or $50 or $100 or $500, whatever, right? And just offer that skill, offer that product, offer that service, however small it is, and just try it. See if people would buy it, right? And through just that single act of trying it, is already you experiencing entrepreneurship,
Huh.
right? And experiencing business ownership. And I made laser cut warrior necklaces. I got a hobby board from Home Depot, threw it in a laser cutter, got an Adobe Illustrator, just took a Warriors logo, put live trace on, made it vector. Hobby board was like $5 and just print it. I got some beads from like eBay. I got a drill. I drilled a hole, got some string, put the beads through, sold it for $30 a pop.
Oh, wow.
And same with clothing brand. Just got a shirt, and found a screen printer and just printed it. Just find out, just do things, right? And try it, and do not be scared of doing it, because you are offering a value to somebody, and you're offering a service that people want, but you don't know what people want unless you don't try.
Okay, so our last two audience questions, from Hi World, how do you deal with failures and bounce back?
Oh man, this is my favorite topic. So let's talk about perseverance. Okay. So I'm gonna share with you all the 3 P's. Okay. One time I posted on Facebook, I was like, what's the order of these 3 words, people that I know?
Okay. Chat, take note.
Yeah. So I'll mix it up just for everyone to find out for themselves. What's the order? Okay. There's 3 words. There's perseverance, passion, and purpose. Perseverance, passion, and purpose. Okay.
Okay.
What's the order of that? Right. Which one comes first? Which one comes second? Which one comes third? Just think about that for a moment.
So the words are, if anyone wants to try this, the words are passion, perseverance, and what was the last one?
Purpose.
Purpose. Okay.
So what do you 2 think it is? Rohit, you go first.
Passion, perseverance, purpose. I'm thinking, well, you first have to have some sort of purpose, and then you have to develop a passion, and then maybe persevere through all the difficulties and challenges and trying to execute it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty valid answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same. I had the same logic as him, and I think it's the same order.
Okay.
Okay.
So now that I think about it, I don't think there's an actual order, but I'll tell you what order that I found mine. Right.
Right.
So for me, it's passion, perseverance, purpose. Right. In that order. For me personally.
Nice.
And the reason being is because passion is about finding what you like doing and what you're good at and what you love doing and just doing it. I like playing violin. I like drawing. I like, coding. I like whatever, mowing lawns, right? You just kind of do things when you are passionate about it, right? You just kind of do it, right? And so it's a great starting point, right? And so when you do that, and you get deeper into it and you invest more time in it, eventually you'll encounter problems, right? And issues. Like when you become the Olympic skater, ice skater of the century, right? And you want to be the best because you love it so much, you're gonna encounter issues as you pursue that passion, right? So eventually there's gonna be barriers that are presenting itself as you get better on your passions. And that barrier is a brick wall sometimes. And that brick wall requires you to plow through it, go around it, find a way to drill through it, whatever, right? If you're passionate enough about that thing, you're going to bust through it. It's guaranteed. If you are passionate enough about something, you will persevere through that barrier, right? Once you get through it, right? You will have discovered something about yourself that no one else really knows. And that gives you domain knowledge. That gives you information that you just achieve something that most people wouldn't, right? Because you care about it enough. And that gives people purpose, right? That
Right.
you have something that's differentiated and different from everyone else. So
Mhm.
I don't even know what the question was, but I think that answers part of it, you know? And so I
Yeah.
think the question was about perseverance. And
Right.
that's
Yeah.
it. Follow what is worth persevering through.
And then eventually it'll come around.
Eventually, you will discover things about yourself that are different.
Hmm.
And it doesn't have to be one thing, it could be multiple things too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Very well said. So, Charn, I think there was another question from the audience.
Yeah. So Joseph, what is or are the main long-term goals of PilotCity in the coming years or decades?
Oh man. Okay. You just want to get philosophical now. Okay. So our mission is to build an engine for innovation for communities and cities with the people from there. How do we do that? We have the protagonists be mobilized. Who's the protagonist? You all, young people that will eventually become everyone, right? Like we're at your mom was once you, right?
Yeah.
You know, I was once you too, right?
Right.
You all were once your young cousins, right?
Right.
So everyone comes from a seedling, right? And
Mhm.
so we'll be everyone at some point. So what we discovered that we were doing is not mobilizing young people to go into internships to be the best person you can be. We realized that we were fostering the youngest citizens and residents of our communities to build the best future they have alongside their family and friends too. So our mission has always been to how do we have humans, citizens, residents be the best person they can be? How do they do that? Through programs. And so we're essentially inventing programs that are digital, replicable, and get outcomes for that person so that they can be the best person they can be. So in the future, we're going to have all kinds of programs under Pod City, not just internship programs, for all kinds of people, from students to employers to teachers to schools to elected officials to dog owners to police officers to homeowners to superintendents to
Just everyone.
dogs themselves, we'll create programs of all kinds for all kinds of people. And that will then deliver the outcomes of a better society, is our theory.
Wow.
Mm.
That's a great goal to have.
Yeah, I think that was all the questions from us.
Right. Well, I guess that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for taking your time off to sit with us and answer these questions. So, any
Absolutely.
final words, or what did you think about the stream?
I love this model. Thanks for improving the infinite career kind of model of
Yeah.
speaking and so forth. And we look forward to engaging more Washington High School and Fremont Unified students, and
Right.
we look forward to be around more. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, what you guys have been waiting for. Thank you so much for sitting through the event. We hopefully you guys got so much philosophical career,
just like information about different career paths.
If you have any related information, feel free to email us. And yeah, I guess we'll never know who Poop Monster Flex is in the Discord. So yeah, okay. Now is the infinite career giveaway results. So we're going to be tallying up the things. We're going to be taking out the repeated or the fake emails because we know some of you guys did that. So yeah, give us 2 minutes and we'll be right back.
Okay.
You want to put the music?
Yeah, I will put the music.
All right.
Where is the music?
Okay, let's tally this stuff up, bro.
So how do you guys like the stream? Thank you so much. Yeah, well, thanks to you guys, really. You guys are the ones that keep us going.
Join the Discord. I'll send you.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna plug the Discord.
Yeah, plug the Discord, bro.
Let's see.
This was all Rohit and Olivia, by the way. I just wish them a really good.
Yeah.
Thank you for the great questions.
Yeah, thank you all. The questions are really great. So hopefully you guys learned a lot, and stay tuned for more career shows in the future. This was really fun for both of us to host.
Mm-hmm.
We really liked interacting with um, our presenters. So, who do you guys think, or what career paths would you guys like to see as we're winding up? What career paths would you guys like to see in our next career show? Which professions? Any suggestions?
All right, I have our winner ready.
Okay. Well, we have to give suspense first. We can't
Suspense.
suspense.
Suspense, guys.
Suspense.
How do we give suspense? Okay.
Straight. No. There we go. The responses are here.
Okay. So once I announce the winner, make sure to drop something in the chat so I know that you guys are watching. If not, we'll re-roll it.
Yeah. Well.
All right. Okay. And now, turn off the music, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a sec. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of computer science, and that's very justified.
Okay. And the winner is
Okay.
viraj.shivadebony@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching, and drop something in the chat. So
Yeah. Well, we'll be around here. Oh, the winner.
yeah,
Let me put it up on the screen. Sharon, who is the winner?
yeah.
Viraj.
Wait. Let me see. Okay, we're gonna re-roll in.
Oh, we have to.
30
Are
more
we
seconds.
re-rolling? What happened to Viraj?
Hopefully, he's still watching the stream. Wait.
Okay, wait. We have to give it 5 seconds. Yeah,
So
give
30 more seconds. 30 more seconds.
No, because the stream delay. Remember?
Oh right. Okay. So then, whatever it is.
Re-roll.
His name is Viraj.
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 No, give me the what's his last name?
I'll just put in the chat.
Okay, yeah, put it in the chat.
Okay, we're gonna re-roll in 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds, bro. If he doesn't do anything in the chat. Come on. No, we have to see.
Did you put it in chat?
Yeah, I did, bro. Here, let me do it again.
Okay, wait, no, because I can do that. There we go. Okay. So that is our winner on screen right now. Yeah, re-roll.
Okay, we're gonna re-roll. Okay. Yeah. Unless. Okay. No one's in the chat. Unless. Okay. Damn, bro. Sorry, Viraj. No $50 Amazon gift card. $50
No $50 Fortnite card.
Oh, $50. Okay. Oh, he just DM'd us. Wait.
What? Oh, he DM'd us. Oh, sorry, guys. Well,
sorry, guys. I guess Viraj won it.
Viraj won it.
Yeah, he said something in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll be hosting more giveaways in the future. Unfortunately, that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for attending. Sorry you guys couldn't get it, but maybe next time.
No saying L.
No saying L.
Okay.
We want it fair and square.
Congratulations, Raj. Make sure to email us at internetcareer.edu@gmail.com. Bro, could you drop the email one more time in the chat?
Me?
Yeah.
Infinite. I mean, you have his DM, right?
Do I have his DM? Oh yeah, Instagram.
Yeah. So we'll be contacting you through Instagram. Don't worry, guys. We'll be hosting more giveaways in the future, so feel free to drop by.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to the stream, and we will head out now.
And yeah, I mean, if you guys have any last-minute questions you guys want to ask us, we're going to stay here for a few minutes. Is that okay with you, Charan?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, sure. So, your guys' opportunity.
Now.
Yeah. So how was the show? What do you guys think about it?
We'll send out a feedback thing. Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys would please fill it out, that would be really nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love you too, Rayhan.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for the kind words.
Sanjeev, I'm sorry we couldn't answer your
Okay, shout
question
out to
about
Christine.
we couldn't answer your question about who Poop Monster Flex was. We're so sorry, man.
And shout out to Christine.
Yeah, shout out to Christine. Oh, Danush, can we get involved with Infinite Career? If you're not in the Discord, I can like email.
Yeah, and then just go ahead and like ping us there, and then you guys can.
Yeah, we're gonna start. We just hired an outreach team, so we'll get some more stuff out to you guys.
Yeah, we're planning on doing a little bit bigger expansion, so keep that in mind for future.
Raj, thank you so much, but it was actually Rohit and Olivia who carried this event. I was just here.
For
Sorry.
sure, it's been a pleasure having you here, of course.
Yeah, Danush, we'll ping you more when updates come.
Yeah,
And
don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right. Damn, we had like 30 people watching this stream. That was awesome.
That's pretty good. Yeah, more than last time. Last time was.
Last time we actually had the same amount.
Really?
Yeah.
It was probably also because of the jungle.
Oh, the jungle Discord. Wow. Can I say something in stream? I'm gonna say my favorite word, DNC. Okay.
Oh, he said it, guys. DNC.
DNC. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna close off the stream now. Thank you
Right,
guys so
well-
much for watching, and we hope you guys had a great time.
Peace out.
DM me on Discord if you guys want to know what DNC means.